Hi everybody, I'm Melissa Ferreo and I am the new assistant principal at your school. I am thrilled to be here to present to you the Teaching Toolkit. These are the top 10 ways we can improve student learning. These are things that I'm also going to be looking for as I observe your classrooms this year. I'm really excited to present this to you as I think we can really elevate student learning with your talents. If you have any questions during this presentation, please don't hesitate to ask. Without further ado, who we are. We are 33 dedicated teaching professionals, passionate about educating our 340 K-4 elementary students in our suburban New Jersey school district. We're a composite of teaching talent, experience, and expertise, striving to do the very best for our students of unique and individual differences, backgrounds, cultures, abilities, interests, and needs. We are all proud to serve our community, and of course we bring the love of learning to each and every one of our students. What I'm most proud of is that what I've learned from your principal is that you are always learning, reflecting, and striving to improve. So as you can see on the screen, these are the top 10 characteristics of classrooms with elevated student learning. When I visit your classrooms, I'll be looking to see these 10 things in action. I'm hoping that this meeting will serve as a chance for you to see my own philosophy of education woven throughout. Again, if you feel like you need any support or understanding to implement these, I'm here to support you. Number 1, the classroom teacher has an understanding of content as well as the age of the learners. Number 2, the classroom is learner-centered versus teacher-centered. Number 3, there is evidence of quality lesson plans. Number 4, learning objectives are presented clearly in the classroom during the lessons. Number 5, there is a positive teacher-student and peer relationship in the classroom, fostering and nurturing learning. Number 6, students are engaged throughout the lesson. Number 7, the teacher is able to monitor student learning and understanding. Number 8, lessons and learning are differentiated. Number 9, the teacher manages time effectively. And number 10, the teacher is cognizant of the level of learning during a lesson, knowledge, and strives for deep, meaningful learning. So let's take a minute and dig a little bit deeper about understanding the content as well as the ages of our learners. Before we get started with a unit, we should ask ourselves questions, and we need to understand and be metacognitive of what we already know about the topic. There are some things that we just might not know, and we need to know if we need to research or ask our fellow peers to give us a little bit more background and understanding about that topic. After this, we need to ask, do our students know enough about this topic? Do our students have prior knowledge? And if not, how can I introduce the topic in a way that activates schema that can be connected to this new knowledge? Remember, new knowledge should be connected with prior knowledge. Are the students going to be interested in this topic? So important. Without that interest, it is really hard to engage and motivate our learners. And if it's not going to be interesting, how can I make it more relevant and interesting? What do I already know about my students that I can tap into? Once we ask ourselves questions to prepare about the content of the lesson, we need to ask ourselves about the ages of the learners. Is this lesson developmentally appropriate? Are there modifications needed to put in place in order to make it more accessible to this age group? Will all students find an entry point into the lesson? Meaning, can they access this lesson, or what do we need to do for them to give them that opening? Finally, what is the best way that this age group learns? Do they rely on hands-on learning? Do they rely on visual aids? We need to be able to know this so that we can give the best instruction to our students. Does anybody have any questions about this? Now, I mentioned also the importance of a learner-centered classroom. I believe that learner-centered classrooms have teachers who believe certain things. For one, they believe that each learner is unique, have their own rate of learning, style of learning, their own ability, talents, and interests. Each learner is at a different stage of development or readiness. Students should construct their own knowledge and do construct their own knowledge in a learner-centered classroom. Teachers help connect this new knowledge to prior knowledge, and teachers facilitate an active learning environment where students are actively engaged in their learning. They are making meaning. We all know that kids are naturally curious. They want to understand their world. So we need to give them an environment where we allow them to ask questions. Teachers believe in maintaining high expectations for all learners. We're going to set the bar high, and we're going to support those who need it. Finally, teachers in learner-centered classrooms believe that discovering a student's individual motivation helps them persist when they struggle. We need to find out what we can do to help them and motivate them. So let's take a minute. Please think about, is there something on this list that resonates with you? Turn to a peer and chat about the one thing that resonates with you. Next on the list, evidence of quality lesson plans. Teachers need to be thoughtfully planning their lessons in order to execute great instruction. The plan should be thoughtful with students in mind. They should include materials that are high quality and prepared before the lesson. The objectives. Let's think about, what exactly do we want our students to demonstrate by the lesson's end? These objectives should be clearly communicated, presented on the board, and visible throughout the lesson. The next part of the lesson is your launch. This is when you're going to set the stage and really hook your learners. You're going to excite them and get them ready for learning. Followed by direction, instruction. This is where you're going to present your information clearly so that students understand exactly what they need to know and to do. If you need to model a certain skill, this is when it happens. Following direct instruction, teachers move into guided practice, where students independently or collaboratively work on meeting that objective. At the end of the lesson, we need to ensure closure, which is a quick synopsis or a way to demonstrate student learning. Some teachers use an exit ticket or a Q&A at the end of the lesson. So take a moment and consider your plans that you've created. Do you believe that planning a lesson with these parts is important? I want you to turn and talk to a peer and think about, what challenges may teachers face in creating these kinds of lessons?